Hi, welcome to part 2 of the orchestral practice and performance notes for the William Baines Purple Heights virtual recording project. That wasn't a mouthful at all. This video focuses on the exciting bits and different beating patterns. If you'd like to join in with this project, you're very welcome to. Just visit the All Seasons Orchestra website, that's the York one in the UK. Download a part for you to practice from the recording project page, and then use these videos to help you practice. There's also a guide video on there for you to play along with and record yourself performing your part to then send to us so that we can collate it into the finished virtual orchestra project. I think the deadline for that is the middle of July, but if you've missed that and are interested in playing the piece with your own orchestra or music group, do get in touch with me. I've arranged it for flexible orchestra, so it will suit different combinations of instruments, some more so than others, but do just get in touch and we can have a look at your group and I'll be able to advise you on whether that is likely to be suitable for you to use with your group. So bass instruments, you get this really exciting passage and it needs to be played boldly and, well, aggressively even, and it sounds like this. So we want to be snatching at the notes, really spiky short staccato, really stabby accents, plenty of volume. So it is worth just looking at that little extract. Really make sure that you hit the notes clean in the middle and that the rhythm is nice and accurate so that it has its most impact when we put all the different parts together. The central section of the piece is a bit different between B and F, the rehearsal marks B and F. Here across the orchestra there are more sustained and repeated notes, and it's all about the contrasts here. Now it's a bit of a tricky one to kind of decipher when you're just looking at your own part, but basically there are two different blocks. There's like a light block and a dark block, and so the dynamic markings in your parts to some extent reflect that, although they are modified depending on what instrument you play for balance across the orchestra as well. So you need to pay very careful attention to the dynamic markings and to make sure that you maintain whatever your dynamic marking is for that whole section until it is marked to change. So the MF and F marked passages are dark and heavy in tone. That's the character that you want to be going for. So make sure you keep this density of sound for the whole of these sections. Don't let it fade away. And then in contrast, if you've got anything marked piano or mezzo piano, they're going to be much lighter and much more delicate. And we want to keep that sound throughout that section. So some players will just have the quieter, lighter ones. Some people will just have the darker ones, and some people will alternate between the two. So just be aware of where you are in that, what your role is, and whether you're switching hats. So we can get some quite nice, clean distinctions on there. I always imagine that it's like shifting light across the mountains, you know, when you get the craggy sides of the mountains, and so you get really, really harsh shadows and bright light and those fantastic contrasts. That's what that's the image I've kind of got in my head in that section. So the notes are very similar between those two sections. So the difference and the distinction really is in the character and volume that you're playing. So we want to have a sharp contrast in those. Okay, the next exciting bit, which pretty much everyone gets at some point, watch out for this motif towards the end of the piece. That kind of motif. It appears in different notes, different pitches, at different instruments at different times, but it is an important motif. Here you can see those little arrows show you all over the score where it's popping up in different people's parts at different times. Quite often you might find that you've got a melody line and then in the middle of it suddenly it's interrupted by this. So just poke that out nice and loud, nice and crisp, and then go back to the melody if you've got a combination of different things. That bit is quite fun to play, spot who's playing that and watching it dance around the orchestra. It appears at the end. It's a new musical idea, which is quite unusual to bring it in that late in a piece, but it is important and it really helps build a sense of excitement towards the end of the piece. So as I say, play it out and enjoy it. These are worth writing in your part. So a lot of people don't bother writing things in their parts, but I am a big fan of scrawling in pencil all over your music where you need to. It means you've got less to remember. And it's just a little reminder, and especially if you're performing or recording and your mind goes blank under the pressure, just having those notes written in can be really helpful. So there are a couple of places where almost everybody playing has got triplet crotchets or quarter notes, like this. So in the guide video, I'm going to beat out those triplets in order to keep everyone together. So in bar 150, I think it is, you will see me beat a faster 3. So I think this example starts from 149. So it'll be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Down, up, down, cross, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So I would just write in 1, 2, 3 over that triplet bar, so to remind you that that's what I'm going to be beating. Some people have got rests in those bars, and I think some other people have got 2 straight crotchets, 2 straight quarter notes. So that would be particularly confusing if that's you. Bars 98 and 99 also have got triplet crotchets, triplet quarter notes in them, and those are the same. I'm going to beat those out in a faster 3 in the guide video as well. So you may just pencil that in bars 98 and 99. Feel free to pause the video if you need to while you find it and write it in. The next one to make a note of is the pause the fermenter in bar 146. So no one plays at the beginning of the following bar. I'll hold it in bar 146. And then I'll bring you off, and then I'll begin beating at the start of the next bar, most of which is silent. It'll look like this. 1, 2, hold. I'll bring you off. There'll be a little break there. Then you'll get the downbeat at the beginning of the next bar. Up, ba, 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 bum. Okay. Maybe just write 1, 2 at the beginning of bar 147. So I won't beat, it's not a bar in, it's not beats that don't exist. Everything that I beat is what you are seeing on the page. Some people have got a couple of bars rest before they enter after the pause, so that's particularly useful for them to know. Just to glue those little bits together to finish with, let's have a look and see what it looks like all together. This is starting from bar 144, just showing you an extract from the middle of the score again. We've got 1, 2, 1, 2, that's fairly straightforward, we've mostly been in that. Up at the top there in the second bar that you can see one of those ba 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 motifs popping in there. And then we've got the pause bar. So I'll hold it, I'll bring you off at the end of the pause to make sure that everyone comes off cleanly together. Then I'll beat 1, 2, down, up. Then you will hear or play ba 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 ba, and that's all against a 1, 2 beat. And then we've got the triplet bar, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and through to the pause at the end. So 1, 2, 1, 2, hold, off, 1, 2, ba 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 dum bum. 1, 2, 1, 2, hold, and keep it loud right until the end when I bring you off. Okay, so thank you for watching. I hope that has been helpful to you. Do have a look at the other videos. There is one on the main theme with some practice tips for the main theme and making sure that you're playing with the correct people. And there is another one on bowing as well. And then in addition to that, there is the guide video for you to practice along with and do your recording along with. The instructions on how to do that are all on the allseasonsorchestra.org.uk website. And I think the deadline is in the middle of July. And if you're interested in the music, playing it with your own music group or orchestra, do get in touch with me. I do sell copies of that, and I'll be able to advise whether it's going to be suitable for your particular ensemble. Okay, thank you very much. Take care. Bye.